So here we are, ready to create a more in-depth design. I am gonna create a logo that I have already created before, but I think it's a really good example to use to show someone else how to create a more in-depth design. Quickly, I think it's a good idea if I show you all what I am creating, which will be this design down here. So you can see the general idea of it. It's got barbed wire, these rectangles, a nice font, and this kind of texture going over the top of it. Yeah, so let's get started. Hopefully I can remember how to make it. That'll be embarrassing if I can't. So the first thing you want to do is come over to elements. Now there's so many elements for you to choose from. There's so many different shapes, masks, badges, but I came to complex shapes. You just want to have a look, and eventually you'll get inspired by anything. I've used these before, so like this cube, you can have quotes. Again, the main thing is based around a quote. This really caught my attention, even though it's very simple, but I feel like you can do a lot with it. First thing we're going to do is change it to red, like I've done. We want proper bright red, nice. I'm going to make it nice and big. Make sure it's central, perfect. Right, next thing we're going to do is add in the font. Now, I've already got a font downloaded, but if you watched the first part of the video, you would have seen I showed you how to download fonts from DaFont. The first word we want is going to be scared. The font we are going to use is this one, Hulk. For any of you wondering about the quote, scared money don't make no money, it's just something I first heard it in a song lyric, a song called This Year by Margaret and Josh Osho. Very old song, about 11, 12 years old now. But yeah, it just caught my attention from the first time I heard it. And it's something I've always believed in. I don't think it's possible to make a lot of money unless you risk a lot of money. Because a lot of people are scared to do that. Scared to spend money. But me, I'm someone who likes to take risks, especially with money. I've lost so much money in the past from trying to get rich. But it's all lessons. It's all lessons learned. So yeah, so I'm going to add the rest of this quote in quickly, and then I will be back. Right, so as you can see, we've now got our quote added to the design, but it still looks a bit boring. Still needs something more to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the actual element, which is the rectangles. If you hear me refer to something as the element, it's just the design, like the rectangles in the background. So what you want to do is come down here to shadow, and then you can really choose. I'm going to put this the deepest black it can be. Then you can play with all of these settings, just find what you like. Me personally, I want the blur all the way up. It just adds something to the design. It's not a lot, but it makes it look so much more than it is. You can do this for all the text as well. Text shading. Oh, do you want it 50? No, we'll just leave it, we'll put it to 10. So I'm going to do that to all of these real quick. So, all the shadows are added, and as you can see, it's starting to look better. Well, I think it is anyway. It's less boring than it was to start with. That was a mistake. There you go. You caught me making a mistake live. Mistakes always happen, you just gotta deal with it, keep going, not get too pissed off. So what I should have done was group these before I decided to shrink it. I'm only shrinking it so it gives me more room around the outside of the design to play with. And you'll see why in just a second. So, now we want to come back to elements, and you can choose whatever you want, you can search whatever you want to see what they have. But obviously we saw when I showed you the preview, I quite like the idea of barbed wire. The reason I chose barbed wire is because I feel like it relates to the quote, like the idea of kind of being trapped in this 9 to 5, this shitty system of life that the government have put us all in. You just want to find the best ones really, or the most clean looking ones to use. I quite like that one. You want to get a few different ones just to mix it up so it's not too repetitive. None of them are any good. So I've chosen that one. There's definitely more because I've used them before. So I actually can't find, for some reason, the other element that I used. But just because it's this video, we'll just use this one. That'll be perfectly fine. The same principle still applies, so it's not too important. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and change this beigey colour. I'm not sure why they chose that colour, but change it to more of a silver so it actually looks like barbed wire. I'm going to go D4, that's D5, D4, a nice bright silver. Okay, so this is where actually the fun part starts, at least for me it was. Before we do that, actually quickly, shadows. This might just be me that does this, but I put shadows on absolutely everything. I think it makes most things, 9 times out of 10, it makes things better. The reason I said this is the fun part is because this is just where you have a play around with things, see what you like, see what you don't like. So I'm actually gonna have this one run down like that, and then I want to duplicate this one and have, you want to turn it around and add it to this one. But what you want to do with this one is to back. You want to send it to the back of the design. So now it looks like it's gone, it's like overlapping then underlapping. And this is why I wanted the smaller element as well, because you can have it, this one's obviously quite big to do that with, but I'm sure you can still make it work actually if you wanted to go over, under, over, under. So I'm just going to duplicate a few of these and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go back and try search for that element. I'm really pissed off that it hasn't shown it to me yet. Because I want to make this, I want to give you the best possible tutorial, if you know what I mean. And I can't do that if this is going to make it difficult for me to do so. It's literally, it's the exact same style as this, it's just smaller. And there's no way for me to edit this one to make it smaller, which, hold on 2 seconds, I might be learning something here. Imagine me learning something when I'm trying to teach you something. It's amazing what can happen. Rasterize. Done. Okay, that's just never gonna work. Ah, I know what to do. 2 seconds. So let me get one of these. See, you learn something new every day. So if I get this, remove the shadow, then I erase it, rasterize. So I'm going to make a really little one. Right, so I found a way around this little hiccup that we're having. So basically you want to get the element without the shadow and then just want to use this eraser tool to edit it, and then you want to put the shadow back on so the shadow doesn't get affected by the erasing. It's amazing what this can do. Put it to 60, shadow straight to 60, and we're just going to duplicate a few of these and a few of these. Okay, so back to the designing. I'm going to take one of these and I want this one, this is going to be overlapping both, yeah? So we're going to make it slightly bigger. Yeah, that looks good to me. And then we're gonna have one of these ones join onto it, but it's gonna come underneath the design. So if we send that to back, yeah, we now have room to play. So then you can join this one onto that one per se. Maybe you just need to make this one slightly bigger. Okay, let's use the smaller one again. Let's turn this around. Have that come down like that. Yeah, I quite like that. Quite like that. So now I'm going to add in a couple more longer ones. Another thing, just to make it different, I'm going to flip this one horizontally, just to make it different from the. My camera's running out of battery, so I'm going to be really quick with this. So yeah, here we've put this one. Then we're going to add another one, for example, coming off this, but going underneath the design to back. And then you can have another one of these rotated, make it a lot bigger. And then you've got this one coming back through the design. So this is as much as I'm going to show you. Obviously I'd love to do more, but my camera's about to die and I really want to get this video out for you. So yeah, you get the gist, you get the idea of making a more in-depth design. Then this texture button, the last thing I'm going to show you is you can add any texture you want, but it just gives the design more of an edgy look. I feel like it fits in with the design more with the texture. Then what you can actually do is, if you come to this rectangle part, you want to ungroup these a minute, make sure you're selecting just the rectangles, turn the opacity down just to 90% so the texture goes a bit more on the red. Then after, you want to group everything again, and there you go, you have your design. So I'm going to wrap it up there. You get the idea of how to create a more simplistic design and a more in-depth design as well. So I'm going to try and be more consistent with these videos. I'm going to keep trying to level up the quality as well. So yeah, next video you should expect from me, I'm going to try and teach you how to create websites. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments and leave a like and press the subscribe button. Check out the socials as well, and I'll see you in the next one.